Howdy, kids. Alright, well, I figure I need to offer my comments on the latest, I really don't like to use the word Fox News comments. And I hate to use the word news because you all should know, hopefully you know, there's nothing news about Fox News. Fox News is the puppet piece of the state, of the right wing of the state, pretty much. So Fox News is equivalent to what the news service in Soviet Russia was as far as news. And so at any rate, these three talking heads for Fox sat around the other day, and they were talking about the University of Missouri having all of the pagan holidays on their calendar, which, is pretty cool since, and I know, and we all know that the Christians stole all of the holidays from us. So, first of all, they tried to say that in the report that they tried to equate this with a Christian country and how the pagans are just trying to do something opposite than the Christians out of protest. And that's all bullshit. All of your holidays, except for what we just have, Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day and maybe Thanksgiving, except for those are all pagan holidays, and the Christians stole them all. Second of all, Fox seemed to make some statements that there's a Christian country and we're just a minority going against the grain. I don't know how many times I have to say it. There's plenty of other people saying it. It's not a Christian country. This never was a Christian country. It wasn't founded to be a Christian country. Our founding fathers were not Christians. The majority of them were Masons, which makes them closer to our belief system than the Christian belief system, definitely. And freedom of religion was clearly an issue for the founding fathers because they had a problem with the Church of England telling them what to do. You may have noted that the Church of England was a Christian church. But those aren't the statements that pissed most people off. The statements that pissed most people off is that most Wiccans play too much Dungeons and Dragons and are usually middle-aged women that are also midwives living in the middle of nowhere. So, hi. I suppose I'm a Wiccan as well as a witch. I do fall under that branch too. I don't use that word to identify myself, but for these purposes, I am a Wiccan, and I am not a midwife or a middle-aged woman. I further do not play Dungeons and Dragons. I experimented with Dungeons and Dragons in elementary school, and other than playing the computer version of Dungeons and Dragons when the first role-playing games came out, didn't like it much. However, when I played Dungeons and Dragons, I never once played the mage, or the cleric, or the wizard, or any of the magic users, and I always kind of shied away from witches that did. There are many gamers in the world, but I always kind of worried about the gamers that played wizard in their games. I always played the warrior. I always played the fighter, something like that, something other than witch, because I do that in my real life. So I want to do something different in my fantasy life. Now I'm a gamer. A lot of pagan gamers. Maybe a lot of people don't know it, but computer programming as we know it was dominated by pagans. The early computer programs were all dominated by pagans. It is a field that we dominated early on. So there's more pagans involved in all of your technology than any Christian ever could conceive of, because pagans have a certain type of mindset where they can conceive of taking your mind through a portal and ending up somewhere else, another web page that is another place with other things. Our mindset was better able to conceive of those kind of things. So the early computer programming field was dominated by pagans. But as a gamer, I would like to specify, I play Battlefield 3, and I play what's the other one? Call of Duty sometimes. I usually play Call of Duty until the new Battlefield comes out, but I was such a very different kind of gamer. The kind of gamer that's not going to ever be victimized by the Christian church or any Christian propaganda. I'm the type of Wiccan that if you ever come to burn me at the stake, I will shoot you in the face, and you have no problem with that about it. There are very many different people in paganism, in witchcraft, in Wicca. We are broad, we are varied, and we are not all the same. And my take on it, in addition to the insulting things that Fox said, they're trying to label us as an easily victimized people. That image that they place upon us is that of people that can be easily victimized. Some Dungeons and Dragons playing geeks and little old ladies living in the sticks. And so my statement for that is that we are not. We are not all the same, and not all of us are going to take your shit. And I absolutely advocate cursing Fox alleged news, and I find it really funny. A lot of people are very much more offended, but I just find the whole thing funny that Fox said something that we should take seriously, and that in the rant where they're talking crap about Wiccans, one of the talking heads refers to himself as a journalist. I live with a former journalist, and I know much about the art form, and for Fox to refer to itself as anything other than the talking heads of the state, absolute bullshit. But at any rate, they very much offended a minority religion, and they would not have the balls to do that to the Muslims. They would not have the balls to do that to the Christians. They would not have the balls to do that to the Jews. Why? Because there's a huge backlash if you do those things. So pagans, Wiccans, witches, let's give Fox a major backlash every possible way we can. It was the most clear moment of talking shit and bashing another religion that I've ever seen on TV that was just allowed to go like that. Even in my lifetime of being in witchcraft before it was popularized, I've never seen anything that blatant. So destroy Fox Corp News in any way that you can. And if you want to do it on a more mundane level, I found a couple numbers here. I found Robert Murdoch's number. It's publicly posted on the internet. You can give him a call at 212-852-7000. That's area code 212-852-7000. That's Robert Murdoch. Or you can email him, bombard his fucking email, at rmurdoch, that's RMURDOCH, at newscorp.com. rmurdoch@newscorp.com. There's also an 888 number for those of you that don't want to spend your money, and 888 numbers and 800 numbers are great because they cost the person that you're calling. So bombard this 888 number and make them pay for every one of your calls. It's 888-369-4762. 888-369-4762. And anything else you want to do? You want to make voodoo dolls of the different talking heads on Fox and stick them with pins? I absolutely advocate that, and I think you should do that. And you can tell them later, you know what? Birch said I should do that. That's why I did it. Birch said so, and I'll absolutely take the blame for that. They should receive a huge backlash. They would have never done this to any of the other mainstream religions out there and thought they could get away with it. But they marginalize us, try and paint us up as victims so that they can further victimize us. And we have a long, long history of being victims. That's the majority of our history, is being victimized by other bastards. Never again. Never go quietly into that good night. Rage at the talking heads at Fox. Tell them Uncle Birch sent you. Thank you. Have a good day. Marry me, marry part, marry meet again.